from now. It's the kind of the questions.
Got it.
But I've got them up on my phone here, so I'll just kind of whiz through and see what you think. There was about 6 or 7 lads that asked the same kind of question. Are there any bands around right now that you feel have got that spark that the 90s and noughties did? So rather than ask that 17 times, I'll just put it at the start now and say I've asked it. Obviously, we went to Liam in Aberdeen, and DMA supported. They're massive now at the moment. So what did you think of them and any new bands?
They seemed all right. I mean, I enjoyed them on the night with you, Kyle, but I haven't given them a second thought since. Right. I don't really listen to any new stuff. I know I'm in Costa Rica. I'm just working with this Costa Rican band, Las Robertas. Yeah. So that's all my energy taken up with fucking guitar music. You know, I don't know anything about guitar music. Who's good? The Viagra Boys, they were good, weren't they?
The Viagra Boys?
Is that the name of the fuckers? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah.
I don't
know. Not heard them?
Don't know who they are. No, the Viagra Boys.
Yeah.
Not the Venga Boys, no.
No.
I'll have to give them a Google then, absolutely, yeah. But no, I think the DMA seems to be the one that are capturing everyone. You know, Liam goes to all their gigs and they support him on his tours and stuff. So there's not many around though, is there, that are not new.
Viagra Boys, sports. You want to watch that? You do. That's good.
Viagra Boys. I'll take note of that and give them a shout. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the other questions down the line is something similar about that. We'll come back to that then. There is, I think I saw last week, there's a rumour that the Verve are reforming. Did you know that?
They're reforming again, eh? That's good.
Yeah, so that'd be a different story. That'd be an old school one come back good. I don't know. It's just a rumour, but I think it'll be a shock if that does happen. But we'll see. So this
I guess people need to make money, don't they?
Well, I think Nick has done nothing really, has he? Since soon after the Verve. But him and Ashcroft getting on together is pretty unreal. I don't think it's likely. You never know.
Anyway, good luck to them. I like the Verve, obviously.
I love them. So that's it. I think the album that you were involved in is my favourite one, The Northern Soul. That's the best of the bunch, I think. So I'll go through names of these lads and whiz through them what they asked. So this fellow Ryan Bater. He said, if you could have the use of a time machine one time, go back and have some input on the production of an album in history, what album would you pick?
Like different artists, that isn't it?
Anybody. Yeah, anybody.
Have some input. Well, the albums I like, probably I wouldn't want to have any input on, is it? So that's a difficult question, that is. You know, nothing that needs fixing, does it? I can't think of one for that. There we are. Input, see? I don't fucking know.
Just put Spice Girls. Yeah.
All the Oasis ones I didn't do. They'd have been a lot better if I'd have been doing them. There we are. That's a good answer.
That'll do it. That leads quite nicely into David Walker's. David Walker's put 3 questions down. He used to be a journalist, so his questions are a bit more full up, as you'd expect. First one's pretty straightforward. Did you approve of Noel's rethink of Do You Know What I Mean?
Never heard it.
Never heard it?
No, I haven't. I've never fucking heard it. They never sent me anything, man, any time after they stopped employing me.
Right.
They never fucking asked me to fucking listen to anything, those fuckers, you know, so... the management I'm talking about there.
Right, yeah.
Anything. Not.
It was all right. It was a bit of. I think it was shortened down. A few things had in the background, a few strings. It was all right, but I think I did prefer the original. Yeah. He's also said, at the end of Be Here Now, you spoke of a heartbreaking soul song that Noel had written called Slow, which you thought would make the 4th album. Was it ever recorded?
I haven't got a clue what he's talking about. Slow? I spoke at the end of Be Here Now?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't speak at the end of Be Here Now. And heartbreaking soul song. Slow? No, never heard of it.
That doesn't sound like something you'd say, actually. Heartbreaking soul song.
No, there was like one song left off Be Here Now, which is the last thing we recorded.
Yeah.
It's like 10-minute fucking coked up fucking hardcore fucking rant and fucking just noise and stuff. But we couldn't fit it on the CD. that was the only one that I was aware of, and it wasn't Heartbreaking or a soul song.
There has been. I've seen that written somewhere before, but I don't know where. But regardless, yeah, there's the answer then. No.
No.
What do you think of Oasis's output from 2000 onwards? Do you think there were missed opportunities or things that could have been done differently, production-wise?
Oh, I don't know. I only listened to like. I don't think I listened to all the albums they did after me. I think I listened to like two. I think I listened to like that Mark Stent one straight after me. The standard, listened to it once. You know, difficult for me to listen to. See,
yeah.
That was heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking, soul breaking.
Those fuckers not employing me again. It's like it's like a relationship, Kyle, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Fucking fit as fuck she was, and she, and then she broke my heart. No, yeah. So I never listened to them properly. I could never fucking listen to them properly without just
getting pissed off.
Without being annoyed or thinking what a bunch of shit, or or being jealous or whatever,
I don't think I've ever actually even asked you this in person. When it kind of stopped, was it in person? Was it done and dusted? Was it an email, a phone call? Was it from Noel?
No, it was just
Or you just didn't get a call about the next one?
I didn't get a call about the next one, no. And it was obvious. Marcus Russell, it was, I remember Marcus, he's always good to me, Marcus Russell, their manager. Like, before we were finishing the last little B-sides for like Be Here Now, me going, oh, this is shit now, isn't it, Marcus? Me recording these lot. He said, well, maybe you should quit now. Just say, like just before the end of the B-sides. And but I stupidly hung in to the end of the B-sides. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to fucking quit Oasis, right?
Yeah.
So Marcus' theory was, if I quit then, leave the door open a bit, see if I was one, rather than, anyway, what the fuck. No. Yeah, it didn't get any better, the B-sides, so, there we are.
Fair enough. There's a girl on the group who's 9 years old, and is a massive Oasis collector, believe it or not, at 9 years old. She's called Talia. Right. She's quite well known. She's her collection puts a lot of the older fellas to shame. She's got unbelievable stuff. But she's put a question in.
Are you sure she's a girl and she's 9 years old?
She's what, sorry?
Are you sure she's 9 years old and a girl?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, her mum Nikki's and her dad Eddie, they kind of look after her and take her to gigs and whatnot. And she's just got the bug, but she's probably the biggest joy. Yeah, she's not some stooge just pretending to be a 9-year-old girl. But
I imagine it happens.
It most likely does. Yeah. Well, I think our group's only about 220 people. I think we decline about.
Probably about a good 10 of them are fucking young girls. No, young old blokes pretending to be young girls.
I hope not. I'll be in trouble. Not going to be ideal at all. Well, Talia says she wants to know how and why you ended up on the cover of What's the Story, holding up the master tape. I think I've asked you that in the past as well, but I'll let you.
It was just, Brian Cannon was a very good friend, Brian. So certainly at that time with me, and he was on the Morning Glory recording and mixing sessions more than anybody else apart from me and Noel, right? Yeah. In the room and he was kind of living in my hotel room when I was mixing Morning Glory up in London,
right? And
living at the studio, and I'd mix, Brian would hang out. Go for a few pints.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we go back and drink fucking red wine and fucking play piano and, have breakfast in the morning.
Right,
Scandic Crown it was, in the Docklands. And then, it's good fun. So Brian, doing the album's obviously finished by then, and I must have been around in London. So when he was doing the cover.
Yeah.
I remember him showing me in the taxi his concept with the fucking, the two blokes and then the one bloke at the back, right? He's like, go see north fucking northerner, like in the southerner, crossing paths, that's what it's about. Right. And on the back, the northerner's gone, he's a ghost, right? Brilliant, genius, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Brian Cannon, genius, right? That's what, I was like, fucking, you got it, Brian.
Right.
So, and we were up all night before because he wanted to do it in the morning,
Yeah, no traffic. Yeah.
Vince Jones was there. I think Meg Matthews was there.
Right.
She was up having a drink and, you know, this and that with us, staying up late. And I think Sorrel, the assistant from the studio, my studio, I was mixed in Orinoco, not my studio. We were just up all night. I'm waiting for Brian to, so I went along. I was like, I just finished the mix of Champagne Supernova, so that's what I took, Champagne Supernova with me.
Right.
So that's, and he was like, and we were doing this thing, hats off to Noel Gallagher with a master tape of Champagne Supernova. So I was doing hats off to Noel Gallagher.
Okay. Right, well, that's more detail than I got. That's ideal.
Aye. And Brian was like, you know, setting up further back, Owen, further back. But I was happy. No, it was good.
Yeah.
Very, very entertaining, Brian Cannon's photo shoots. So.
He's got, I mean, I've been to a couple of his shows and watched a few of his interviews and stuff. He's a nice fan. I met him in Liverpool. I think I said to you, I met him in Liverpool last year for a Microdot 90s event. And I've been to his shop a few times. His town is a pound there.
Yeah, no, we had a good time, Brian. Too good. I loved him. Yeah. So it was very funny. It was just hilarious. The whole fucking, very camp is Brian when he's like fucking doing a photo shoot, you know.
Yeah.
There we are. Aye, good times. Good times.
Oh, the next one, Ryan Canner. During the Morning Glory sessions, which song got the band the most hyped when listening to it for the first time?
Well, complete songs. I guess there's Don't Look Back in Anger, then Wonderwall, and Champagne Supernova would be the ones they were most excited about, I think.
Yeah.
And then Morning Glory, you know. Yeah. There was never one they weren't excited about. They were always excited about the fucking songs, you know. Liam was always excited about the songs.
He'd nip in and just do it in one take, wouldn't he? Just nip in, nip it in a bud and shoot off again.
Yeah, it'd be like 4 takes, which is not a lot, you know.
Right. What's the average for other bands then to get it in a take?
Depends, doesn't it? Singers are different, you know. Sometimes somebody does a line by line. Liam never did line by line. He just blasts through it.
Right.
But an average of about 4 takes on Morning Glory, and definitely maybe. Although he did 1 takes. Did he do any 1 takes for me, Liam? Probably not. Right. But I believe Supersonic and Slide Away, which I didn't record, were 1 takes. Richard Ashcroft would do complete takes where he wrote the fucking words at the same time as doing 1 take, you know, because that's how they worked, sort of, you know, work into that improvisational fucking moment when it all when him and Nick fucking got it together.
Yeah.
So he'd only sing the fucking thing once, you know. So everyone's got Bernard Sumner. We'd spend 2 weeks on a vocal just because Bernard's not a singer.
Yeah.
And he'd be writing at the same time, actually. So he'd write what the words were in the melody, and then he'd like sing it like 10 times to get up to pitch, you know. So that process would take a long time.
You've literally seen the top singers and worked with them, haven't you? Really, when you think of it that way. Straight away in one sentence, there you've had Liam, Ashcroft, three people straight away.
From Mancunian. Well. Wigan, Richard, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, the whole area is on. I think that's it. I think there's a lot of stuff that comes out of Manchester. People say that often. Why do so many class bands come from Manchester? I think it's just in the area. Did you live in Manchester at all at one stage?
Yeah, I lived there for like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Altrincham, though it was, isn't it? But Hale Altrincham, so it was posh, you know.
Yeah.
So, I lived close to Johnny Marr when I was with Johnny Marr. Yeah, well, it's grim up north, isn't it? You know.
Nothing else to do, is this? We've got to get on.
Exactly.
So Matt McKay, which song was the most stressful to record with Oasis?
All of Be Here Now.
Okay.
Right. They're always fucking stressful because Liam and Noel were hating each other until it was almost done. Then they started hanging out a bit, you know. Until Liam he didn't get married to Patsy at the time we were recording. He got married while we were fucking mixing.
Right.
but near the end, once Liam had done all his vocals, like there was like a period where they'd hang out in the studio and like listen to it together, the whole fucking thing. But it was horrible, the whole experience. They fucking hated each other. They went in, Noel going, he's a fucking shit singer. I should sing all the fucking songs. And Liam going in, he's a shit songwriter. These songs are shit, right?
Yeah.
And then all the bucket and all the press and all that. It was after like he didn't go on tour in America after Nebworth and all that. Yeah, we went in end of September, something like that. They done Nebworth in August. They should have gone on tour in America. Liam fucking threw his toys out the pram.
Yeah.
Staying home with Patsy, right?
Remember that, he had to buy a house, didn't he? So he pulled out. He had to buy a house.
Bad vibes, you know.
Yeah.
No. Like, got really annoyed at me because the day Liam threw his toys out the pram and like trashed the fucking rehearsal rooms and all that before MTV Unplugged. I came up to do the sound for MTV Unplugged.
Right.
And Liam was like, let's go to the fucking pub. Me and Liam.
Did you go with him?
Yeah, fucking my mate, Liam. Of course we go. You know, that knows rehearsed with a fucking string section. Liam's going, this is fucking shit, right? Let's go to the pub. Yeah. So like,
he definitely didn't have local.
Gallagher drinking Guinness is fucking entertaining as fuck. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. What you can see there.
Liam got a bit too fucking drunk. See.
I've got a few of the unplugged passes in there in the little cabinet. That's it's one of the most bootlegged gigs of Oasis, that MTV Unplugged. I think, right. if Liam had sung it, he's just done his recent MTV Unplugged, hasn't he? I don't know if you've probably not heard it.
Yeah, it's good. I thought you were singing all that.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a good thing.
What would it have been like? Because obviously Bonehead was in it. What would it have been like if Liam had sung that back then? It'd have been ridiculous, wouldn't it? Yeah.
No, I think in the pub, Liam decided he wasn't going to go on tour and fuck everybody. Yeah. I think the next day, we would go, like, at MTV, Noel went to me, you can go, fuck off. Right? The fuck did I go? Right to the pub with Liam.
I mean, you must have been caught in the middle quite a few times then, if that was the case. Well, I think most people must have been caught in the middle quite a few times.
No, I don't know. I tried to keep my head down, really, and it got on well with both of them in the studio.
Yeah.
Generally, you know.
Good stuff.
I think.
So the next one's from Graham Harrison. Honest first impressions of each original band member.
I liked them all.
Yeah, stay on the fence.
Liam's the easiest to like straight away, isn't he? Because he's just fucking big fucking away, you know. Noel was always all right to me. When I met him first with Johnny Marr, because Noel wanted to meet Noel because he'd heard about this guy with his tape and his band and all that. And Johnny Marr picked up Noel. I was in the car, I was working for Johnny Marr then. We went to a guitar shop, Doncaster it was, and I just sat in the back. I wasn't listening really to them talking about whatever. I thought he was some little fucking drug dealer, little scally, who the fuck, I didn't take him seriously at all.
Yeah.
And Bonehead, and when Bonehead like driving, he drove Noel and Liam to like my recording sessions for Definitely Maybe, like down in Newport or Kylie or whatever the fuck it was. And then to North Wales, we recorded some of the vocals as well, D-side. Nice enough, Bonehead, hello,
Yeah.
I was just getting on with work. And it was like getting vocals done quick with Liam. Bonehead go and watch football with Noel, make cups of tea and then drive them back, nice enough. But I got on really well with Bonehead. And Griggs and Tony, nice guys, normal, nice people. Always nice to me.
Good stuff.
Nothing controversial there.
Right, so well, actually mentioning Johnny Marr, then Alex Malpass says, what was it like to work with Johnny Marr and Electronic? Did the songs go down easily, or was it difficult to get from start to finish? Did Sumner and Marr do their bits completely separate? I think they did, didn't they? For Electronic.
They both write. Bernard wrote about 2/3 of the backing tracks. Johnny wrote about 1/3 of them. Bernard Johnny was away a lot, but he was touring with the.
Yeah.
So I spent a long time with Bernard and Bernard's programmer, who's now Andy Robinson, who now manages New Order. Nice guy, Andy. And Bernard would just, Bernard just sits there at his computer, really intense, fucking like programming drum programs and then fucking creating the backing track. And then later he'd sing over it. But Johnny wasn't there for much of that. They were there kind of mixing and stuff together. And so the end of the overdubbing. Or then I'd do backing tracks with Johnny. And then Bernard, Bernard would sing on them. But Johnny was very rarely there when Bernard was singing.
Yeah.
But it was good. I loved working with Bernard. Learned a lot from Johnny Marr. Learned a lot about music from Johnny Marr. Amazing record collection.
Yeah.
It was good when it was good.
Yeah.
And it was shit at the end. With the last, I did about 6 months at the end of them. And Bernard decided he was going to stop taking drugs and drinking fucking Pernod, which was his method,
So it all slowed down.
As he'd have some quality stimulants and a bottle of Pernod, and that'd be his night. And he'd, get a bit of work done. And it was really good, man. Intense, but brilliant. I named my son Barney after Bernard Sumner.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
That's how much I like Bernard Sumner.
Yeah, that's
fucking genius, that man. Brilliant, that man is.
Yeah, I've met Hooky. I've met Hooky and I've met Steve Morris, but I've never met Bernard.
They're all nice, normal people again. See, Hooky's fucking lovely.
Yeah.
Normal as he like. Bernard's like just a normal fucking, space cadet Bernard, but fucking lovely.
Yeah.
Very clever man.
That's it. So who would you say was the favourite band you've worked with? Says Rob Gray.
Oasis.
Yeah. Tick.
That's easy, that one, wasn't
it? Easy one there, yeah. John Nellis, which song are you most proud of after hearing the finished piece? And was there ever a tune that got changed last minute that you wish you'd never changed? There's 2 questions there, I suppose.
No, that's right.
Most proud and any potential changes.
I don't know. My favourite things I did with Oasis are still Rock and Roll Star in Columbia, and those are the first 2 days I fucking worked with them.
Yeah.
It didn't get better after that, see. As far as my work, my input, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's fucking really good. Happy with those.
Yeah, well, anthems, aren't they? Simple as that. Anthems. And he still plays Rock and Roll Star to open up every show now. So that's
and just the work I did on them was just.
Was it all pretty, when you stepped in? Then was it all pretty raw? Was it all? I mean, obviously you were. Was it the second or third person brought in? Because I think Mark Coyle deal with it before you, or have I?
Yeah. Well, Mark recorded the backing tracks and maybe one of the vocals. I think Columbia had a vocal on.
Yeah.
For all of Definitely Maybe. That was after they'd recorded it the first time with Dave Batchelor or something, and threw everything away apart from Supersonic. Right. Not Supersonic. Slide Away.
Slide Away. Yeah. Yeah.
I know it was just all needed arranging and Rock and Roll Style vocal needed recording. So that's the first thing I did was record Liam's vocal. And fucking hell, it's raining here. And when it fucking rains here, man, it's fucking tropical.
It proper rains, yeah. It's been beautiful here all week, absolutely beautiful, and then it's absolutely pissed it down today, which is good for the garden veggies, but it's not ideal on Father's Day to be sat in the house watching Jurassic Park for the 19th time. Well, saying that, you live in Jurassic Park, don't you, Costa Rica?
What?
That's it.
Watching what?
Jurassic Park. Classic.
Original.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's your favourite film, isn't it?
It's my kid's favourite film, so I have to watch it 5 times a week. Yeah.
Oh right, fair enough. Well, that's quite a good film. To be honest, that's all right then.
Not bad. Could be worse. It could be a lot worse.
Right.
So, Richard Sullivan, who, in your opinion, is the best songwriter you've ever worked with?
Noel Gallagher. That's an easy question, isn't it? I'm not going away, but I'm going back next door for like 20 seconds.
Go on, go for it.
Yeah, I'm the closest door second. So, loud. The rain's too loud.
That's it. You get 40 minutes on these things, but it doesn't seem to be giving me a warning. So I'm just going to crack on with it, I guess. Maybe they use it for work, and you tend to get 40 minutes, and then it says you've had a little warning.
You can always start again, can't you? Do a second one or something.
Well, it could do, but I mean, it's not. I would have thought I'd had a warning now, so maybe they've lifted that off, and it's okay. But we'll see. I'll get a 10-minute warning. I think we're nearly through anyway. We're not far off.
So fucking hell, it's more. Anyway, whatever. Go on then.
Themis, what is it about Definitely Maybe that inspires so many people 26 years later? If you were to change anything about the album, what would it be? Nothing.
It's a good album, isn't it? Good songs.
Yeah.
Good set of songs, isn't it? Fuck me.
Sounds fresh.
Fuck me, Noel Gallagher. Dear God. You know, good band at their best. My opinion, my humble opinion.
Yeah.
With Tony McCarroll and fucking Bonehead, you know, in full swing. It's a good album, isn't it? I wouldn't change anything about it. I don't like the remaster. I preferred my original master, but there we are.
How involved was you in that?
The remastering.
Yeah.
Well, I insisted I had to be there in the room. They were using Ian Cooper, right at Metropolis, old school guy. I think Noel had used like for all the Oasis stuff, all the last few Oasis albums. Nice guy, Ian Cooper. But just anyway. But I needed to be there because when they did Stop the Clocks,
yeah,
like I sort of said, the management Ignition weren't asking me, involving me in anything. Then they you know, whatever the fuck in that, you know, stupid cunts, you know. Anyway, but they put the wrong version of Wonderwall on Stop the Clocks.
Yeah.
No one ever fucking noticed. I had to fucking point it out. I was like, you stupid cunts, you Wonderwall, the biggest fucking song. You used the wrong fucking mix because you were too lazy to ask me which mix I fucking used, right? Because I chose which one went on the album that fucking day, right? When I was mastering Morning Glory, I chose the fucking one of my mixes. Anyway, so I pointed this out to them, so they had to I had to go there and sit and make sure all the tapes were right, find the fucking mix of Wonderwall, which as it turned out wasn't labelled, so fucking hell, we go through random tapes. And yeah, I don't know. What do I think? I think all that mastering stuff remastering is generally bullshit. Yeah. Personally, I don't think it improved.
Well, it was perfect, wasn't it? It was perfect. Simple as that. The first way around was perfect.
They do it just as something to do with it. Put on fucking remastered, spend money, archive all the tapes, find all their fucking tapes.
Yeah.
And no one probably bothers to even fucking listen to it, see if it's even better. I know what I thought, but you know, they weren't interested in my artistic input then. So there we are. But it's all fucking same songs and all that.
I mean that's
right. There we are. I probably wouldn't fuck. No, I do notice. Not the end of the world.
So Tom Berridge, are there any bands you've worked with that aren't as big but you would highly recommend?
Ooh. I did an album with a band called Eastern Conference Champions, Ameritown. That was a good record, I thought. Well, all right, anyway. You know. Yeah. Bands I've worked with. Oh, I don't fucking know. The good ones got successful, didn't they? Like The View were good on that first record and the second album, to be honest, you know.
Yeah.
And
your boys over at Miracle Glass are a good effort, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a good band, but it's not fucking their time, is it? Really?
Yeah, you know? It's not mainstream stuff, is it? But it's a good gig.
Yeah, that's good. Well done. Well remembered there. See, Kyle, I should remember stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
This Costa Rican band I work with, I have to give them a plug, don't I?
Right, well,
Las Robertas, when we finish it. It's good. Big stoner, indie, psychedelic guitar, heavy stuff with a girl singer.
I listened to the 2 tracks you sent me the other week, so yeah, I think I'll be certainly interested to follow how that goes. Definitely.
Yeah, but they, but they, like every fucking band, they're fucked. They were planning like a summer tour in like European festivals and all that.
Yeah,
it's all fucked, all gone. They'd had the album done by now. They had like someone looking after them and all, but they can't do fuck all. There's no fucking concerts. Who knows when fucking bands will play live again? What the fuck?
I mean, I've got tickets here in Edinburgh in October. I've got tickets to 4 gigs, and these the 3 of them 4 have been sold in lockdown. So the idea is, people are thinking, and now it's either they're going to put the gig on, great, and it's going to be socially distanced, or they're going to just take the money off it now and reschedule it, because the venues might not even take them on. There's the Barrowlands in Glasgow are not taking anybody in this year, but they're selling tickets for gigs in October, November, December. So it's a weird time.
Yeah, I guess, but they can always give you the money back in it. No one fucking knows when gigs gonna happen again, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna have to happen at some stage. Otherwise, all the venues gonna fucking go bust, isn't it? And bands will go fucking bust, and
There's a lot of bands doing things like membership clubs where you can pay £5 a month to be a member of their club, and you get kind of invites to online gigs and preferential treatment and tickets. Just trying to get some money in. That's happening quite a bit, but it's not an easy time.
No, I was quite glad Glastonbury was cancelled. See, fucking all those middle class London fucking wankers. See, not like it was in the old days. See, Carl.
Yeah.
All those Guardian reading.
I've not been to a festival in years. I think Tea in the Park was probably the last one I went to when it was good before it turned into Beyonce's and Eminem's, stomping ground. It was
fucking hard festivals, man. They were all right when I was like 16.
Yeah,
that was quite good fun then. Fucking hard work now, horrible. Tea in the Park was disgusting. The last one I went to, just all these fucking drunken Scots fuckers. I went on the last day, to go and see Ash or something a few years back.
Yeah.
What a fucking state these fuckers were in. Just throwing piss around, just fucking rolling around in the mud, having a great time, obviously, but...
Yeah. it's not for you. I think that was it. My last time at Tea I remember watching Noel. Been thinking about it all day. That's the one I want to see. Noel Gallagher, great. And he just started up on his own, and it was looking forward to it. Little bastards behind us pushing Robin, pushing the missus, trying to goad me into fighting them by pushing her. I said to her, "This is the last time we come to a festival like this. I'd rather watch it on TV with a beer in my underwear." That's a different thing.
It always sounds shit at festivals. I mean, unless... Do you go to Loch Lomond when Oasis did that?
No, it's just a little bit too young.
Too young. Sorry, yeah, sorry. Yes, sorry.
I missed all the good ones. I literally was about three years too late, 3 years too young to get into the...
Loch Lomond was fucking stunning, man. Fucking thrilling. Just the atmosphere, these fucking people swinging on trees, dangerous atmosphere. Liam fucking burning it, man. Brilliant.
You would have you'd have gone to all of the big gigs then. I know you worked on Earl's Court, didn't you? You worked on that one, but did you work on all the other big gigs?
I went to Earl's Court. The first Earl's Court was the better one. The Morning Glory Tour, not the whenever later. After being out, that was fucking not a good vibe. The Morning Glory one was good. Ooh, that sounded good then. Yes, that was good fun. I didn't go to Main Road, I don't think.
You worked on Nebworth, didn't you? You do something for the radio, was it, or something from memory?
Yeah, I mixed up with Radio 1.
Yeah.
So I was in the mixing thing, whatever. Yeah. So I didn't see that,
Yeah.
Too big, aggressive that would have been, But fucking... Anyway. Yeah, people seem to like it, didn't they?
Oh, I mean,
what I was mixing was good. I don't know how it sounded out front, but, the band played well. It was good. It was a good set,
I think there's about 9 different versions of Nebworth out there. 9 different kind of recordings, and from different people. Was it only Radio 1 that blasted it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the second night. They broadcast the second night. Although I think we used the encore or whatever to tighten it up from the first night.
Right. Okay.
Whatever. Yes. So it was only them, I think.
historical gigs, and that leads on to Ian Armstrong's question. Could you ask Owen what it was like to mix Oasis live? We've pretty much just covered that, especially at the huge shows in '96, like Budokan. So we've pretty much just covered that really with Nebworth. But if there's anything else you want to chuck in for that question for Ian, what was it like to mix them live? Was you just in a room?
Oh, I quite enjoyed it because it was quite easy. I had a system going because their sound checks fairly quick. Anyway, I had a system going where I could record their sound check, and I could spend a few hours mixing it. Like, so I didn't have to get them to like fucking play a song again and again and again.
Yeah.
And I always found this like key fucking Oasis, which was getting the guitar levels right, Bonehead on Supersonic. And once I got that, like when it kicks in, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's it now. Just fucking let it go. Just check fucking vocal levels throughout and all that shit, right? You know.
How long were the sound checks generally?
I don't know because I was never, you know, I only mixed live at the time, a couple of gigs, Nebworth, and I think I did a Manchester one, or recorded it anyway, whatever.
UMax.
Late, yes. So I don't know. I never really, like, because Mark Hoy used to do the sound, and then he quit after Glastonbury, after the first Glastonbury. So I never really spoke to them. They always had like fucking these like fucking wankers with like like these fucking collars turned up, like strutting around, being paid a fortune for these stadium gigs. You know, I thought they were assholes, to be honest.
Turn up and just thing.
But you know, and it never sounded as good to me again after Mark Hoyle went, because Mark was fucking ferocious when Mark was doing it. Yeah. And it kind of lost you know, it all got a bit fucking big and posh, didn't it? Well,
there was a thing. There's been a sound check in Japan. You won't give a shit about this, I presume. But for years and years, there was a song on it called "Don't Stop," and it was no inside, but it sounded like it was recorded on a fucking Game Boy. It was really shit recording. Right. There's a song called "Don't Stop," and I think he only played it, you know, in this sound check. But I don't know if you saw that about 2 months ago. He found when in lockdown. He found it.
Yeah. And,
yeah.
A charity or whatever for the music.
I think he didn't release it. He put it on Spotify. He didn't kind of do a physical release of it or anything like that. But he put it out there, and that was quite an interesting thing to hear, you know. And then obviously the little bastard bootleggers have put something out for it, but it's that was new news, you know, a new genuinely unheard song. So it was all over the place. Big business. And I think when you get, and there was a fella on Absolute Radio who was playing a tape last month of the original demo tape, Take Me, the original song. I mean, that's been around for years. You know, that was when they were Rain rather than Oasis. But it is interesting to hear about the sound checks, because that's where he would try out new things, wouldn't he, and just kind of fumble around a bit.
I guess that's what Noel would like, just sing a song with these, you know, just written or something like that. But then again, you know, that stuff he's saying about like the sound. I didn't go to many gigs, and like I said, Loch Lomond, that was good. Yeah. That's good. I was out front then. I wasn't like working then. I was just, you know, me and Brian Cannon, like getting as close down to the front as we could, because it did sound good. I got to say.
Brilliant. So Tommy Nolan, very straightforward one. Do you think the band should get back together or not?
I don't know. That's up to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
To Liam, no.
There's no yes or no for that. Is as simple as that, really. I think Paul Samuel is more for yourself. Going from a sound producer to record producer, was there anyone in the industry who inspired you, that you looked up to? Or was there an album or a band that you thought, I want to get that sound?
Oh, fucking hell. Sorry, my phone just pinged and I looked at it. Can you say that one again?
Yeah. So as a record producer, was there anybody in the industry who inspired you or that you looked up to? And was there an album or band that you thought, I want to try and get that sound?
Right, okay. Well, I definitely was like, when I was into Tony Visconti and obviously Phil Spector, right, as influences. And I sort of read interviews and how they did stuff like that. Yeah, that was kind of the stuff I was listening to, like the David Bowie stuff with Tony Visconti, and, you know, obviously pretty much everything Phil Spector did, really. you know. So yeah, those were the. And I was ripping off their fucking, because I used to read how they did, so I was ripping off their fucking moves. Really.
Yeah.
You know.
So it works. I think Knowles had a fair few songs that have come out that people have gone, that sounds exactly the same as X. I think it's inspiration, isn't it? It's a big thing. So, Glenn Ross, what is the most standout, outrageous, mind-boggling? What's a sentence there? What is the most standout, outrageous, and mind-boggling moment of rock and roll behaviour you've witnessed or been part of? You probably can't truthfully answer that one.
No, I mean, I said this to you before. I think. I mean, I because it was just work. People, it must be fucking outrageous on tour with Oasis, or in the studio, it must be fucking out of control. No, it wasn't out of control. We worked 11 in the morning until 11 at night.
Yeah.
5 days a week, had the weekend off. Every time you fucking worked with Oasis, it was like that. You got work done, you know. Yeah. Like Liam would sing, usually, whenever Liam sang, he wasn't fucking drunk. He might have me and him might have a beer, you know. But, you know, he'd never drink a smash, ever.
Yeah.
You know, I'd always have a beer and a little. I was smoking hash then, you know, little joint would go all the time. You know, the cocaine became prevalent on fucking Be Here Now. It wasn't before that because we couldn't afford it before then. You know, it wasn't like you'd have drugs in the studio every night. You know, at the end of the week, maybe with me and Noel get a gram. Imagine that, share and have a listen through. You know. So, being now, there was more drugs because we were in fucking London and suddenly we all had money.
Yeah.
And it was shit, you know. And they had all these minders around them, you know. The Kevin, whatever their names was, and Danny and all that, and they were drug dealers basically, you know. So they always had drugs. So everyone always had drugs. But it wasn't all the band doing drugs. It was me, Liam and Noel probably. Like I shouldn't say anything about them because that's their business. Yeah. I was doing drugs then.
Yeah. So Peter Brown, this is a good question, isn't it, actually? Given the infighting in both Oasis and the Verve, do you think the fact that the Gallaghers were brothers kept them together for longer and didn't split up at the height of the fame like the Verve did?
I think they're different people. I don't know what to do with brothers not. Oasis had really fucking strong management as well. Noel's really fucking strong.
Yeah.
And fucking, like, you know, cleverest fucking most. This is how it's going to fucking be.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't have let Liam fucking leave even properly until he wanted it to fucking, you know. He'd be like, no, you're not fucking leaving. Right? They might have their scraps, but they wouldn't have fucking, you know. There was a going concern. No, he wouldn't have let some fucking daft argument.
Yeah.
Stop it. And he wanted to stop it, obviously, isn't it? You know, Richard and Nick, they had a different relationship. The stuff I saw was Richard was very driven, you know, very like, no, you know, knew what he wanted because he knew how good they potentially were, you know.
Yeah.
But where I think they did a lot of acid and stuff early on. and I think, and Nick, that was it. Fucking hell, I'm going back now, fucking remembering now. Nick was the one, he had a little kid, didn't he? He had a fucking, like, when we do Northern Soul, it was like a 2-year-old daughter. So he had different factors on it to the rest of the band, you know.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Apparently, hey, they got on great in the fucking studio. Like fucking, and they were very tight, and they were very, you know, Nick McKay was, you know, extraordinary fucking musical genius, right? Yeah. Extraordinary. But like mentally very fragile, almost because of that, because he like, and we were, I know I upset Nick McKay, because I was quite loud and fucking.
You're not loud, are you?
You know, and
you don't come across as a loud
but different, isn't it? You know, and it depends on people around. I can't say. I don't think it's anything to do with being brothers or not.
Yeah, fair enough. So apart from Don't Look Back in Anger, is there any other Noel song that Liam nearly sang? Did Liam nearly sing Don't Look Back in Anger?
No. not at all.
I didn't think it did. Yeah.
No, because I think Nolan sang it at Sheffield acoustically, like
Right.
Sheffield Arena, which I think was just before we went into Morning Glory.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically Noel like playing Wonderwall in the studio to Liam going, sorry, these are going to be the two big singles.
Yeah.
But I'm singing one of them. Which one do you want?
Which one do you want?
And
Yeah.
Noel had already fucking sang Don't Look Back in Anger. It went down well. So, but Liam wanted Wonderwall. Liam was like, no, I'll take Wonderwall.
Right.
You know, but songs that. What was that one that fucking almost made it onto Morning Glory? Step Out or something like that?
Yeah.
We had to take it off because it was the copyright problems because it's uptight, everything's all right or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. That's so dominant or whatever the fuck. And it was kind of the most half-assed recording on Morning Glory, wasn't it? It wasn't like, and so Liam sang it half-assed, and then I think Noel didn't, when we were mixing it, he was like, that's half-assed, I'm going to sing it. So I think Step Out as Noel singing on it, but Liam was going to sing it.
Yeah, that's well. There was an event I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago, where someone played the recording of Liam singing it over a projector, and it sounded brilliant. Really, I mean, Noel sounded great on it anyway, but it sounded.
Oh no! It probably did. Anyway, whatever the fuck, you know. Whatever Noel probably decided, you know.
That was it.
He
was
in that mood that day. I'm gonna, you know, he's a cunt. Whatever. Right? But it didn't make it on anyway. So and the album's better for it not going on.
Yeah.
You know.
It flows perfectly without it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to go to the second side. You know, after Cast No Shadow or something like that. You know.
Right.
Well,
that's so. PS Dublin. You got on your list there. I'd love to know Owen's favourite moment with any band live and in the studio. Also, love to know, given the chance, who would you like to work with today? We've pretty much covered that.
That's like a 2-hour interview in itself. These 4 questions. See?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just put some on.
Well, I had lots of good moments in the studio. You know. Oh, man, these are difficult questions. They need some thinking about it. I had some really good fucking moments in the studio. My favourite session, I think, was the B-sides. Was Good to Be Free, Half the World Away, and Talk Tonight in Austin, Texas, when they kind of rejoined after the split on tour in America. And that was a 2-day session in this little sort of shack recording studio with fucking rain coming down like voodoo heads around it. Really atmospheric, no, like fucking furious angry with the band.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Good to Be Free did in the 1 day.
Right.
Just like one take with these, like, this is fucking a tune right up fucking loud. Noel Gallagher, band shitting themselves, you know. Fuck, we fucked up. Right? And Liam probably sang that in one or two, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Atmospheric as fuck, in and out, done, right? You know, monitor mix, that's it, that's going out. And then the next day, just me and Noel, and doing Half the World Away and Talk Tonight. Talk Tonight, I think, is the best thing I ever recorded with him. I just love it, that recording. Beautiful. He was just like fucking hell, like this, like fucking, I was going, fucking this motherfucker has got it. You know, he's burning, Noel Gallagher burning, like with fucking songs and like.
Yeah. that girl that he was with kind of came out a while back and put some stories behind the song. It was quite interesting to read, but obviously his foot off and was with her for a few days when he then came back.
Yeah, so it's about her, you know.
Yeah.
Good, really good. Yeah, shivers thinking about that. Really good session.
Shivers thinking about it. Well,
just spectacular atmosphere and like dynamics in the band. And
is that the way it generally worked then? Did you generally have, a single was coming out, so then you go and work on the B-sides, have like a B-side session for that single? Is that the way it works?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Like we did that for
whatever.
No, well, like some might say we recorded fucking Acquiesce at the same time. And then we had a couple maybe from before. Yeah, so that was for Whatever. And fucking Talk Tonight went on. Some might say, maybe.
Somebody say.
but then we had, for like, roll with it. There was a rocking chair that was done on the Morning Glory sessions early on. That should be on the fucking album.
You did, yeah. Well, you did Master Plan, obviously, didn't you? So that's.
Yes, that was a specific session for Wonderwall.
Yeah.
So Master Plan and Round Our Way or something like
that. Yeah. That's it.
That was a good session. They all went a bit downhill after that.
The Master Plan as an album. Do you think that should have been released as just a fourth album, or are you quite happy with it being a B-side album? I mean, it's brilliant anyway, but
yeah, it all worked out fine, didn't it? So
it worked out well. Yeah, it's one of the most sought after original press records. That now it's one of the hardest ones to get as an original. Funny, right? Which is quite a testament to itself. Liam Pepper. When I first spoke to you about this, I said it'll be a 5-minute interview. That was bollocks, wasn't it? Liam Pepper, ask him if he remembers if there are any recordings of Noel sung tunes with Liam on vocals.
I can't work out what that means, to be honest. So, no.
Yeah. So if there's ever a recording of "Don't Look Back in Anger" with Liam singing it, for example.
Orange juice. You drank all our alcohol last night. I was doing well before. Didn't you?
Didn't you?
Thank you.
How far have you got?
Fuck knows.
Second question.
I sort of involved with this. Thick's thinking.
Now we've got 1, 2, 3 questions left. 3 questions left.
That's okay.
So yeah, I think we've kind of covered it before, but yeah, any recordings of any Noel sung songs, but Liam singing. So we kind of covered that before. So like,
yeah, no, that was the only one that I can think of. I did was that Step Out one.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. So David Elgado, what's the maddest recording session you was part of? We had a similar question to that before. Morning Glory sessions with the cricket bat. What happened to the recordings of Sad Song and Step Out?
Well, I think I just told you about the Step Out one now.
Yeah. We've covered that bit, yeah.
Sad Song was done as a B-side. Or was that next song for Morning Glory? For Definitely Maybe, wasn't it? For the double album.
Yeah.
We needed another song like Bonus Bank Holiday was to make the double album fit. Sad Song. I think me and Noel went over to the little studio. We did some vocals in D-side, in North Wales. I'd have met him I was living in Manchester then. I'd have just picked him up and gone over there and, recorded it probably in like an hour or something like that, 2 hours. That was it, really. Just easy, just to get it done.
Covered a lot of the answers in the previous questions. That's fair enough. James Moon, you mentioned going to Manchester there. So James Moon, I think you've got the full question in front of you there. I've deleted a few, but I think he asked you to do a recording for his band back in the day.
Did he? All right.
Yeah, I think way back when he was his band recorded at or rehearsed at Tony McCarroll's rehearsal studio in Denton.
All right.
Once he was done dusted, so he's been involved with a few local heads in the past. But he said there the brick wall style recording. Do you still favour that today? And do you think that it's the one reason Oasis had the sound they did? Do you agree?
It's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
The brick wall thing, which was just turning up louder.
Yeah.
Was me, because I was mastering Definitely Maybe, and I was underconfident in the sonic qualities of my mixes. So I thought if I just turn them up louder than everything else, if you play them next to anything else, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't sonically posh or anything like that. It's quite messy, really. The whole thing, everything I did was not very technically very good. So it was a solution that, because Marcus and Ignition gave me complete control, because they're like, fuck, he can mix the record, thank fuck, it's not a disaster. And I said I wanted to master it. They let me do it, and they put it out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get away, you're not allowed to do that shit. They go to like fucking posh for a fucking metropolis, who charges a lot of money in the posh fucking room and all that shit, right? You know. But I think, you know, CDs. Then I think you can put stuff loud and it sound all right. You know, there's people argue different things, and I don't really give a fuck. You know, to be honest, what people think. It worked at the time. It was exciting at the time, and it worked for the first 2 albums. So there we are.
Bang on. So when on Definitely Maybe, did you know that they were going to be massive? I know John Delph, little name drop there, said when he worked with Oasis before they were signed, Liam said they were going to be the biggest band in the world. John agreed. Did you see it that way when you first got involved?
Well, I remember wanting to work with them because Marcus had started. We all, you know, they'd been signed to Creation. They had a record deal.
Yeah.
It worked. Marcus had started to be involved. Marcus, you know, was looking after me because I was working with Johnny Marr, Marcus Russell. But I just fucking sacked Marcus about a month earlier, so I didn't get on the first album. But it all worked out okay.
Yeah.
And everyone and there was all the hype going on at the time, like the ferry incident and all that. They were on tour and like causing like Radio 1 news stories and fucking Enemy big pieces. It was only like the cassette then, wasn't it? Fucking cigarettes and alcohol, the one down the drain or whatever, was being circulated. So I assumed they were going to be a successful band.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to be huge or fucking not, you know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to work with them because I had an potential in with a successful band, and that would be an improvement for me at the time, you know. So yeah, but not huge. No.
So this question,
we didn't think Morning Glory was going to be as big as it was. We just thought we'd all been happy if it had just done as well as Definitely Maybe, and go backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was. I mean, that's what I think. I'm 36 now. I remember that coming out, and I would have been in high school, and it just being massive, absolutely ridiculous, wasn't it? It was
it just fucking it went to the country over, didn't it? Fucking, it was like 6 months later. Fucking, you know. I remember watching the FA Cup in May. So fucking May, came out in fucking October. Still number 1, right? Fucking Man United driving in the bus like they used to do, like fucking, you know, the FA Cup used to do build up on the BBC. I used to watch all that, right? And they were all fucking listening to Morning Glory, singing along, the entire team, right? Reds, right? And just like fucking hell, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Mad time. His last one there is an interesting one. Whose choice was it to often put little bits at the start and the end of songs? So, like the cough before Wonderwall. I'll take me one.
Well, I'd always go straight into record. You know, so you have your tape machine.
Yeah.
Button. Play and record. And if you're sensible, you don't start into record until just before someone's going to do something. Yeah. Just so you don't have any fucking messy sounds.
Yeah.
You have to clean them up afterwards, or it's a pain in the ass. But we started doing that, and Noel started like, because he's funny, and his timing's good, you know.
So
his timing's impeccable. His timing's comedy timing, Noel Gallagher.
Yeah.
Isn't he? The cough's just right.
Yeah.
Oh, and I with things like Live Forever.
Right.
I found that fucking Liam, like, oh yeah, off mic somewhere, right? Just before the fucking backing track starts. Like, fucking hell, listen to that, just before, right? You know, put it on.
Yeah.
You know, the noise at the start of fucking Cigarettes and Alcohol.
Yeah.
Which was the last mix I did for it, where I just had everything on full. And I couldn't be bothered getting rid of the noise then. So that was that. It was like, oh, fucking, that's good, man. Didn't realise how...
It does. It's a good question, that, from James, because it does.
So I can, because I mastered it, there was no one going, oh, you need to clean that up and all that shit, right? And Noel was just fucking, oh, sounds good, man. You know, he didn't fuck, you know. So I got away with putting stuff on straight away.
Yeah.
Really. And fucking... yeah, so we did it. You know, with the tape machine, it was good. The tape machine always in record and to the end, and keeping everything to the end as well. Anyway, yes, I quite like those bits. But
it was yourself then, you know. That's you would hear.
Yeah, but Noel was at start of Acquiesce. He plays Wonderwall. I think he plays the riff of Wonderwall. He's like, I'm just gonna put this on, see if the fans know it, all that, right? You know. So that with him specifically going, I'm just gonna see if anyone fucking notices, right?
Of course he did.
Aye. There we are.
Yeah, good stuff. So the last one, you'll be glad to know. Linked in quite nicely again with that last question. So Jake Tomkinson, what's the weirdest way they've ever recorded a sound? I guess you probably just answered it there. For example, the Beatles stood down a hallway and shouted. Is there anything unusual that they've done to try and get an effect?
I put him on top of a wall outside the studio in Rockfield to try doing the acoustic guitars for Wonderwall. Didn't work. Like, fucking that's stupid, isn't it? But he went up there with an acoustic guitar, a ladder, the acoustic guitar's like, Wonderwall, you need to be on a wall. Right. Happy days, I imagine.
You need to be on a wall.
Right? That, you know, would have done that on me now, he'd be like, fuck off. Right? Fucking sacked for suggesting I go on a wall. And I think there's some of that noise at the start of the album. Anyway, birds tweeting and all that shit. But I don't know, weirdest way they ever recorded a sound. No, there's nothing really weird with Oasis, is there?
Yeah, I thought you saw like Joy Division. They had Hamnet had Steve Morris up on the roof, didn't he, doing the drums for?
Yeah, to have it completely dry, so there's no reflections.
Yeah,
brilliant. You know, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So you've got Noel outside on a wall. You've got Steve Morris on the roof. That's where you're getting rid of someone.
If it had been called Wonder Toilet, we'd have had him in the toilet. Thank God there weren't any songs called Liam Should Sing from a Pub, right?
Well, that's it. It'd be fucked, wouldn't it? It'd be fucked. Listen, that's it done and dusted there, Owen. I told you an absolute...
You good with all that? That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. I think, obviously, I thought a 5-minute thing, but I didn't actually expect to get so many questions in that were that good. There were some absolute dog shit ones that got cut before you even saw the list. Things like, "Would he let me mow his lawn?" Don't know what that even means. So you've got the cream of the crop there. So I think I do appreciate you putting the time aside to.
All good. It's all right, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to write something out at some stage, isn't it? That's a pain in the ass.
It's going to be a right nightmare to play. So that's an hour and just under an hour, I think it'll be. So that's going to take.
That'll be a right nightmare. Yeah, pain in the ass. See, that's why I was almost offering to like type these out, but you know, there we are.
It's more fun when we can have a chat, I suppose. Can't we? Have you got any plans to come back then? We'll call that's full stop. That's it done now. So this is you talking now.
Any plans to come